Hey guys, this is Steven with Team Covenant. I'm joined by Zach and Tim, and we are going to run down the Escape from Hoth Force Pack that we just got in. And I can see from the top objective that it's probably a pretty exciting one. And also, you'll be able to give your thoughts on the Vast Resources objective set, which Robert and I ran down a little while back. So interesting to hear other thoughts on that thing. So you want to kick it off, Zach?
Sure. First objective set is the Executor Arrives. It's a 5-2, no rules text. So it's just a standard objective with a decent resource count, which is going to be important because the first card in the objective set is the Executor itself. 8 cost, 3 force icons, 3 unit damage, 3 blast damage, a vehicle, capital ship. While it is undamaged, it cannot be targeted by enemy card effects. 10 health, reaction after card is sacrificed, deal 1 damage to a target enemy unit or objective. Whew.
That's a lot to take in, isn't it?
That is a big card.
Yeah.
And a big ship. So it makes a lot of sense.
10 health. So enemy card effects like, what's that X-Wing escort? You have to discard a vehicle. If you,
which is good. That may be one of the sole reasons that ability is on this card.
Yeah, totally.
Target it, though. You choose one.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I think ultimately, with 3 objective damage, edge enabled.
It's a big ship.
It's a big ship.
Can't be targeted by enemy. So, it can't be Rebel Assaulted, can't be all sorts of different effects.
Jedi Mind Trick, I guess that's character anyway.
Yeah.
But what's the payoff here? I'm assuming it's in the reaction, and that there will be cards that really play off that sacrifice theme.
Sure.
As of right now, there aren't a ton of sacrifice cards for the dark side, though.
Even really just a 3 force icon card. It's not bad. But 10 health is insane.
It's nuts.
It's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, if this thing was elite, it would be difficult to deal with. Now it's not elite, so there's that.
Yeah, that's always the problem with high cost stuff.
If it gets locked down, it gets locked down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't see, and the Imperials in particular have a way to potentially abuse this with the things that make capital ships cost less, all the resources that they have. 8 really isn't that big of a deal potentially.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting someone that's going to be around as long as this guy.
You can easily get it down to 6 or 4 without trying.
Yeah, too much trouble.
Yeah. So, interesting card. If there are a lot of sacrifice effects, I think this card gets insane.
It becomes your engine, basically.
Yeah, because you don't even need it for what it does. It's just sitting there. And honestly, even just playing it and committing it to the Force,
not a bad deal.
Pretty good defender.
Not a bad deal.
As long as there are a lot of sacrifice effects, which, let's go ahead and get to the next card.
All right, let's check it out.
Which is the ISB Liaison. 1 cost, 1 force icon, 1 unit damage, character, 1 health, so 1. Action. Sacrifice this unit to look at the top card of an objective or command deck. Then draw 1 card.
There we go. That's something that we were looking at.
That's not bad.
It can be important to know, your next objective, your opponent's next objective. I hate when I'm playing Smugglers and Spies. I destroy, across the Anduit sector to draw into another across the Anduit sector. So it kind of gives you a peek into that. Also, it's being sacrificed, so if the Executor is out, you're getting to trigger his ability. For 1, he's not bad. I'm picturing this guy, you block, you focus to assign your damage, then you sacrifice to do the ability, let you draw a card, which could be good for edge battles.
Do a damage with the Executor.
Yeah, so you get 2 of these guys in the pack. Solid addition to the pack. 1 health is not bad.
It is important to note that the Executor thing is not a limit once per turn effect, and it can deal it to enemy objectives.
Which is a big deal.
So you can literally play full defense and still kill that 1 objective that you need to speed the game up.
Or, how important is it becoming to just get a damage on certain objectives?
Just like 2 or 3, early on, for sure.
So 2 sacrifice cards there, and we also get a Sith Holocron.
I'm excited about this card.
0 cost, 2 force icons, enhancement. It's an item, enhance your play area, limited. Action, sacrifice this enhancement to reduce the cost of the next Sith card you play this phase by 3.
It's incredible.
What a great card that is.
Now,
scary.
I'm imagining a game where you have your Executor out, you put this on the board, and it's like, man, you're going to sacrifice this, do damage to something, and play Vader for 2? Or Palpatine for 3, or Sith Lightning for free? Or...
That's scary.
Sith... And really, I think the cool part of that is that's 3 resources just waiting to happen. So I don't have to sit on open resources to use Force Lightning anymore. A lot of times you'll hold it, you want them to focus down a unit, and it's like maybe they'll use it and I can do it on their turn, and then they don't, and it's kind of a waste. But in this case, unless they can get rid of the enhancement,
Yeah,
it just sits there and
solid.
scares them.
It's solid. So
scares me.
To finish off the objective set, we have yet another sacrifice card.
Wow.
1 cost, 1 force icon, aggression. It's an event. Play only during your turn. Action, each player must sacrifice a unit if able.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
You only have Yoda out with 4 attachments right now? Sorry.
Yeah, see ya. Then in the board.
Even one of those situations where if the Executor is out, which you don't want to count on him being out, but if he is, you play it, now they have to sacrifice someone and you get to do damage to something. Like, it's super mean. So, just in this objective set, I mean, I just want to think about it. We have 4 sacrifice effects.
Right.
So if you're on 2 of this objective set, you have 8 in your deck,
Mm-hmm.
which is, what, 1 in 5? No, 1 in, a little over 6. So you should see 1 sacrifice effect per hand, almost.
Technically, yeah.
Math
EMT
says.
out. Math says it's a pretty good shot.
So let's just say every other hand. That's not bad,
It's not bad.
especially when you're getting cool things for the sacrifices.
But you
So
do, in order to really synergize, have to have the Executor out. So you're also factoring in being able to play an 8-cost card that you only have 2 in your deck of.
Do you think this is better served starting Imperial going Sith with this?
Oh, yeah.
Do you start, or the flip side, starting Sith, running like 2 of this, and then maybe a Palpatine objective set going into Imperial? So you get all the resources, all the capital ships. I mean, a capital ship with this added into it is potentially a big deal. The only problem I have with that is the Sith Holocron needs Sith cards to be useful.
I think that it works both, but I think starting Imperial, going Sith is super strong. And I think starting Imperial and going Sith is also... They're both decks.
I feel like if you start Imperial and go Sith, you get... The problem is that Sith right now has the answer for everything. After Force Shockwave, it was like... I've not seen a better suited suite of tools in a single like faction, right? If you want to capture stuff, you play the Scum. Imperial is all about kind of vehicles and objective damage, but Sith does pretty much everything. They win you the Force, they win you the struggle, they win you edge battles, they lock your opponent down. Like
The only thing they don't do is win fast.
They don't win fast, you're right. But it's hard for the dark side to win fast, really. Like you come into the game thinking you might be able to pull it off, but you can never win faster than the light side.
Well,
Like,
You've never put against my Imperial deck.
if you're going as fast as the light side, oftentimes that means you're attacking.
Right.
So you're locked down,
Which
and now
means-
they can attack faster, and they're built for offense.
They're
So
built for objective damage, right?
it can be bad against the wrong deck. But continue your thoughts.
But yeah, if you have all the Sith tools, let's say 6 objective sets of tools, the shockwaves, the force chokes, all that kind of stuff, and the resources, and then you have your 4 Imperial, like with Nita or something to introduce the first capital ship you play, or
1 Nita, 2 Mahdi,
those kinds of effects,
and another Star Destroyer objective set.
I mean, we've seen Imperial decks without sneezing get to like 15 resources open.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like they're not doing anything because you have a limited card pool, but it's definitely doable. I think the Imperial, just the little Imperial splash would really help the resources to get Executor
Mhm.
out, and the Holocron becomes a lot better.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how often this gets used. I love the Executor, whatever you want to call it. I love the Executor. And
you played StarCraft or not?
I will want to try it and play with it. It is so expensive for one unit that it's going to have to be it's one of those abilities that could be so good. I mean, thinking about anytime you sacrifice a unit, clearing a Y-wing out, it's like
Can be very good.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
If Vader's also on the board with some force, you're just doing so much direct damage.
It's also worth noting that it applies to your opponent's sacrifices as well. So like
Yeah.
if they play Your My Only Hope to sacrifice something or
Yeah.
anything along those lines.
Absolutely.
One that you sacrifice
So-
for shield.
Overall,
Something
I'm
good.
going to give the objective set, and we'll see how it turns out.
I'm gonna give it a big smile.
A big smile.
I think it's good. I think it's
Probably
really
worth
good.
it. All right, up next,
yeah.
we have a Scum and Villainy objective set.
That art, man.
Oh, it's so good. Hunt them
it's
down. It's a
Look at-
5/1.
First time IG88's been on the card, I think,
Maybe.
in this game.
There was a
Yeah.
spoiler where you get to see part of the IG88 card. So
I
I don't know if you saw
love
that or
him
not.
so much.
And this objective gains +1 resource value for each captured card here.
That could be significant. It could also not be significant.
I feel like it's you capture 2-ish cards there and then call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you can have a turn where you're going to capture like 4 things in a turn and then come back and use 5 resources on this card. Like otherwise, let's say you capture 2 things and then you use your 3, and then it's like, well, I'm not going to see this for the rest of the game, really.
well, that's what, like, if you get beyond 2 or 3, it's like you're probably only going to get to use it once.
Yeah.
So I could see a turn where it's got 5 or 6 on it, and you drop a 5 or 6 cost dude and just give up on that.
Yeah.
Objective.
Yeah, totally.
But at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, there's something about the capture mechanic the idea that I have to do something first before it really starts being a benefit. Now, it's a standard 5-1, so it's fine. And it potentially is better than a 5-1.
And it looks great on the table. And we've got do you know how this bounty hunter is here? Immediate front right. Alien head looking guy.
Oh, man, what is
I don't remember his name.
He could also be a favorite of mine because I'm liking the look of him as well.
I have an old CCG card with him on it. I forget his name though.
It's Boskin Dingar too.
So, anyways, it does look great. The potential for it to be better than just a standard 5-1 is there and useful and situational. So for me, it's really going to come down to what the next 5 cards are.
All right, and speaking of the next 5 cards, my personal favorite card of this objective set is Dengar. He's a unique 4-cost bounty hunter character, Scum and Villainy, 2 unit damage, 3 health. You can attach units captured from play to him face down. His reaction, after he's focused a strike, it gains 1 combat icon of your choice for each captured card on it until the end of the strike.
Woo! That's something. That is hilarious.
My heart to be still.
Man, and
of your choice, man.
There's so many. Think about how bad this is, right? So you leave 3 reversals open and you attack with Dengar, and then it's like, you want to block, and how much you want to block with? Because I could have a captured that I can just attach to him, and now he gets an extra icon. So it's like,
and you have the defender gone.
It's like, you want to block with Luke 3 health? Can I capture something or not? Like, we don't know. Or do I have a new team?
Yeah, and like you can throw him. Let's say he's got 2 cards on him, and it's like, are you willing to risk that I do 4 unit damage to you? Like, because I could do that. Or if you don't block, I'm going to put 2 focus on some people. It's so versatile.
Or if I need that final damage on that objective.
Yeah.
It all
for 4, it's just great. This is just a package right here.
I mean, to me, he's one of these characters that 3 health is super important. I think his ability is potentially really great. I think he's a solid character. He's really great for the dark side. Really great on defense. And
that art.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, imagine even just 1 captured card. Think about if a character had an ability where one of his icons can be whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's worth 4.
Just that alone, 1 captured card, 1 icon choice. It's great.
And
it's a cool
if
card.
I'm understanding this correctly on the first read, so like the objective set that says, capture a card out of your opponent's, or capture the top card of your opponent's deck.
Absolutely.
Goes right to Dengar.
Absolutely.
If you want it to.
All day.
And the same thing with Hunt Them Down. Like the very start of the game, you flip your objective, you get the one where you can look, capture a random card from your opponent's hand, or look at the top 3 of their deck and capture one. And it goes right on Hunt Them Down. Now it's 5-2 right off the gate.
Well, Hunt Them Down, I think you have to capture it to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you can't
Can you not place it anywhere? There's one that you can capture anywhere.
Oh.
This is captured from play.
Right.
So that doesn't work from the deck. For that.
Oh, there we go. That's what I was
That
looking
makes
for.
more sense.
Less good.
But still, I mean, again, I play Utini all the time, and I leave 2 open. It's like, I'm gonna attack, and they're like, and you pay 2 and capture a resource, and you get the icon of your choice, whether it be a focus or a unit damage or whatever.
Cool.
So,
it's solid.
Yeah.
Very solid card.
He'll keep getting better too, I think.
Yep. Up next, we have the Kirags class Assault Fighter. It's a 3-cost, 1 force icon, Scum and Villainy, 2 health. It has a black blast damage and an edge-enabled unit damage. It's a vehicle fighter and has a reaction. After this unit is focused to strike, capture a target enemy unit with a printed cost of 1 or lower if you have the edge.
You know what?
You review this.
Well, when I reviewed it, I didn't know Dengar was in the universe. This is a lot better with Dengar out. A lot better.
My primary issue with it is that you capture a 1-cost unit. There aren't too many of those just floating around. They do exist. 100% they exist.
Force Choke has really gotten them out of the game.
Between Force Choke and then if you look across and see any cards from this objective set, knowing, they may be able to capture my dude's really easy. 1-cost units become very unattractive.
Well, yeah, but if you're forcing your opponent to not play those 1-cost units, this card is doing its job.
What do you got, Y-Wings and stuff?
But Y-Wings are 2.
They're 2?
Yeah.
God, I always think they're way cheaper.
Well, they are cheap.
Are the X-Wings 1 or 2? They 2? I know there's a cheap one. Yeah, there's some cheap Rebel stuff. I was thinking the speeders.
There are 1-cost units, absolutely. But the problem with them is they're usually not that fantastic. So what do you really capture?
The other thing about it, if you just look at this character without the ability, 3 for 2 health and a black blast damage.
No, it's not a bad card. And the ability is potentially really good.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just like that little bit of the 0.3% extra.
It's just a little bit extra.
It's like
So
that's what makes it.
It's not
worth
bad.
3.
It's another capture mechanic, assuming they have
Mm-hmm.
something, and it potentially gets them to not play certain units. That's fine. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
We actually
Dengar
get
is
2
great.
of these in the pack.
Yep.
Up next is one of my most interesting cards, I think, in this pack.
Most interesting card of pack.
0 cost remote hideout. It's a 1 force icon location. 2 resources. You enhance your play area. The first unit you play each turn enters play with a focus token on it.
That's something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
So, one thing that's not on this card that is not something.
Complete silence.
I'm just thinking about this card and how big of a deal that potentially is.
Yeah.
But, first thing to note is it's not limited.
Mm-hmm.
So this lets you potentially have some
It
pretty
is indeed not limited.
explosive resource
It'd be
turns.
explosive.
That would come out with a focus icon.
Well, the
or
first
focus
guy you
token.
play, not every guy.
Yeah,
So
so I mean, your first guy is probably going to cost 1 or 2.
but I mean, picture
Ish.
this,
And
right?
it's canceling out.
So turn 1. I'm playing Scum and Villainy. Let's just assume I'm playing Scum. Obviously, if I'm using this card, I have 4 resources out, 4 objectives, all ones, all that. First thing I do is I play this thing. Now I've got 6 resources. Then I play a Jawa who gets a focus on him, who's 0. Now I've got 6 resources open. So let's say maybe I spend 5. Life goes on. Guess what? I lose an edge battle. Guess what I still have in my hand? Oh, it's Mr. Jawa, who I'm going to put down, and he's going to get a focus every time I lose an edge
I
battle.
get it. You also have to
It's gonna
think
Java
about.
cycle within
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's also the card that says when you capture a unit, remove focus token from up to 3 non, or is it just
3
one?
non-scum card, or 3 scum cards.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's one of those.
I don't
Something.
remove focus tokens for something.
So I don't know. I think it's a great resource card. You don't have to play it, but if you need resources,
It's there.
it's a good card.
Well, it's there if you're running the set anyway.
I'm gonna say I like the card.
You don't
I
have a
absolutely
choice.
like the card.
And then we round out the pack with a target of opportunity.
And it's a good looking one too.
Yep.
Missiles.
So why that remote hideout? That's interesting. So these are it looks like the assault fighters are there at the remote hideout. And it's an interesting synergy with Dengar and these 2 ships, and then this weird kind of resource focusy location, and then target of opportunity kind of makes some sense there. This is just a very interesting objective set. I feel like the first 3 make a lot of sense, but the next 2 are
But
kind
the other 2 are
of
random.
Interesting.
something.
Steven, you're up.
I can't do endless reserves. I already did it.
You did. We did a video of this.
You go ahead and do it, and come back to me for Heroes
All right.
Resolve.
There's a lot of stuff in it, so we'll endless reserve 5/1. While this objective is undamaged, each event card in your edge stack gains 1 force icon when resolving an edge battle. Solid ability. Not bad. It's a neutral resource, which I'm not too excited about, but that means anyone can use it. And it also comes with 5 vast resources, which is a 0 cost event. 1 force icon action, reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1.
So you watched my review, right? Robert and I giving our take on this. What do you guys think?
It's there.
All right, so I'm just gonna dive in. The type of logic I don't like is let's give a very specific example and then apply it backwards instead of, hey, in a grander view, is this logical? Does it make sense? Does it work? And for me, an objective set that basically comes with 5 resource cards is really interesting.
One-time use resource cards.
Hey, it's
That's
still
fine.
resources.
The situations that I'm thinking about are what does having 1 extra resource on particular turns do for you? And I'm actually not even beyond like, oh, I've got 4, I need 5 for Vader, or 6 for Palpatine, or 8 for the Executor. I'm thinking about what happens when I can surprise my opponent with a Force Lightning they didn't see coming, or a Force Shockwave. I only have 2 open, and they're like, oh, he doesn't have it. And then I'm like, boom, next card I play this turn is reduced by 1, right? And then I can all of a sudden surprise them, I believe. You're rereading the card to make sure I'm right.
You're right.
But the surprise factor for me is really where this card has some merit. If you have cards that you can play as surprises, they can kind of catch your opponent off guard. I really, really like this.
And it's 2 force icons in the edge stack if you have the objective out.
And it's undamaged.
And if it's
Well,
undamaged.
you know.
So I'm going to put this squarely in the middle. Like, I think in certain decks, this objective set makes a lot of sense. Maybe you struggle with resources, maybe you just run a really high cost curve, like an Imperial deck, like Imperial capital ship more specifically, where you're commonly playing these high-cost things, being able to drop down a lot of cards is a big deal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Potentially
We'll
a big
see.
deal. We'll see how it plays out.
Let's get a Heroes Resolve. This is a Jedi Objective set. It's a 5/1 standard, and it's looks like, is that Luke, you think? Staring down a walker?
Oh, that's
It's definitely Luke.
It's a Hoth objective, which is cool. While this objective is undamaged, each card in your edge tag gains 1 force icon when resolving an edge battle.
Is this the first Jedi Hoth
I
objective?
think I can't remember much else, to be honest.
I don't.
I can't.
I think that it is.
I don't want to say yes definitively, but it's certainly, I've never seen that color with Hoth in front of it.
I've never thought about running a Hoth deck as a Jedi, so I don't know.
Which is cool,
I've never really made that
by the way.
consideration.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, let's get to Luke Skywalker. Beautiful pose here. Beautiful art as always. 4 cost, 3 force icons. Has a unit damage and objective damage every time, and then has a unit damage and objective damage that are edge enabled. And he's 3 health. So character, force user, important, and a pilot. So a lot of good stuff going on here for 4 already. And it says reduce the cost to play this card by 2 if it is played as an enhancement.
Uh-oh.
And note the next text. You may play this card on a friendly speeder or fighter unit as an enhancement with the text enhanced unit gains black unit damage and tactics icon. If enhanced unit leaves play, put this card into play as a unit. Which, let me just run the resources of this card down for you, is completely ludicrous how good this is.
So it's a 2-cost enhancement that gives the tactics and a unit damage. And then, once that unit is gone, it becomes a character unit named Luke Skywalker, who's a force user with a pretty solid icon spread.
Why
It's good.
would you not ever... this is just great.
I love this card. I think
It's so good.
it's not so good that it's like, I don't know how to beat this. It's just a really, really great Luke Skywalker that's super flavorful and really depicts the moment that's happening in that scene in the cycle, the Hoth cycle.
It's also worth
Mhm.
noting that his ability is passive, so there's no way to cancel it as of now or probably ever.
A card. Cancel the passive effect.
Well, let's move on. We've got a default snow speeder as well. We've been through this guy. He's a snow speeder. We also have a default Tauntaun,
This is awesome.
Liberty Resource creature, Hoth. Then we have 2 fade cards, Battle of Hoth and Heat of Battle. And let me tell you why I think this is really significant. Because you throw this into a rebel-heavy Jedi deck, and now all of a sudden the Rebs can maybe win some edge battles. Maybe. Because if you've ever played that rebel deck that you build that says, I'm going to load up all this objective damage, and I'm going to swing for the fences and kill all these objectives super fast, and then you have a Palpatine in front of you that you cannot win an edge battle against, and everything you have gets focused down, you know what I'm talking about. Or like, you have all these white objective damage icons, and it's like, I just need to win 1 edge battle. That's all that I need right now. And you just can't. You've got 2 cards. You've got like a speeder with 1 force icon and like maybe another one with 1 or 2. You can't do it because your stuff's so cheap. You got to play it out. Battle Hoth at 3, even Luke at 3 if you need it, and Heat of Battle at 2, also having a great effect.
Well, the objective set itself, giving every card in your edge stack an extra. That's a
Well, it's
mind
undamaged.
bending. That's a mind bending effect.
It's great.
Like,
it's just fantastic.
it's like, oh, I'll put 3 in. It's like, they've at least probably got 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
I think Luke's great. I love the fact that Luke's the only Jedi card in the objective set.
Absolutely.
So running it out of a Rebel deck or out of a Smuggler deck is perfectly fine. Yeah, I mean,
Makes
you
a lot
could
of
even run
sense.
a 3-color deck here. Could.
Tim.
Throw it out there.
Still throwing that. I mean, it's a thing. That will be a deck.
But yeah.
I have no idea.
I think that's a fantastic objective set, and it's a Luke for the right time and the right
This
place.
is great. It's just a nice little package. You get a resource too. It's about everything you could want. Tim, what do you want to finish this off here?
Sure.
The Rebel.
Last objective set is Evacuation Procedure. It's a 5/1 Rebel Alliance objective set.
Man, Hoth.
It's
so many
Hoth.
Hoth objectives. Get out of here.
It's almost like it's the Hoth cycle. Almost. It has a reaction. After your opponent's turn begins, sacrifice a unit to remove all focus tokens from a target enhancement or Hoth objective.
That's interesting.
Another ability to trigger Executor.
Huh. Man, there's a lot of things going through my head that probably none of them work. I just need to look at this in a really focused setting. See what kind of enhancements you could potentially abuse.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is the Fleet Command Center. Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Resources.
3 resources.
The
it's a
reopen.
shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice a Chud to do that.
I mean, depending on what's in this objective set, this
Yeah.
objective could do some.
All right.
And you know what? Another useful thing here, I just want to say before we move on, because that ability is good. Imagine a situation where Palpatine puts 3 focus down on Luke, or 3 focus down on a character, or 7 focus, and you draw into another of that character.
Mm-hmm.
You can get rid of that character so that you can play the other one
Yep.
in your hand. I know I've had that happen where it's like I have 2 Lukes, they focus down Luke, and now I'm just kind of sitting on a dead card.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, you get rid of Luke, get a cool ability to remove focus, and then also get to play Luke again.
There's been several games where I'm willing to swindle myself. I'm gonna swindle that Sleuth Scout.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Nice.
things like that.
So, anyways, continue.
Next in the pack, we have 4-cost character, some Chud Han Solo.
What a way to end a cycle, by the way. Let's get another Luke and Han in the game.
Yeah.
It's Rebel, which is awesome. 2 health. It's got 2 unit damage and a blast damage, and they're all black. Character Rogue Scoundrel. What a nice suite of traits. It's elite, and it has an interrupt that says, when this unit leaves play, search your deck for a Rebel card, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck.
It's a huge ability. I mean, this Han isn't lighting the world on fire, obviously. Just from his raw stats, 4 for 2 health, elite. 2 unit damage is nice, and the 1 guaranteed objective is nice. You can throw him in with people.
It's nice.
But really, yeah, it's all about that interrupt. It's all about him getting any Rebel card that you want, especially with this objective set. If you just need that Rebel Assault to win the game right now, you can get it. Like, that's significant.
Well, and then pair it with the objective itself, that you can sacrifice Han to go get whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah.
I mean, that's potentially huge. I'm just thinking of all the mean ways to use this. I think potentially more importantly, something glossed over a little bit, is the 3 Force icons.
Yeah.
A Rebel card with that many Force icons is
We're getting them again.
It
a
isn't bad.
huge boon. So let's see what else this lovely objective set comes
Up
with.
next, we have Torin Far. She's a unique 2-cost unit character. It's got 1 edge-enabled tactics. It has shielding, 1 health. It has interrupt. When this unit leaves play, place 1 focus token on a target enemy enhancement. It's a cheap character, cheap tactics, and then a neat ability.
And when it leaves play, you can put a focus on a resource or a resource.
Or some kind of an.
I'm going to put it on Vader's lightsaber.
It's not going to do much for you. Now, I will say,
She just get she's.
this objective set is so flavorful, right? So the Rebels are evacuating Hoth, and all these cards are about leaving and getting a benefit for leaving.
Yeah.
I am really happy with
That's
the cards
good.
I've seen so
That's
far in
good.
this objective set.
Up next, we have Bright Hope. It's a unique 3-cost Rebel unit, 1 Force icon, 3 health, black unit damage, and a white tactics, vehicle transport. Reaction: after a friendly unit leaves play, remove a token any type from this unit.
Let's just make leaving play even better.
Yeah, but what is this guy doing?
It's tactics. Unit damage.
It's an edge-enabled tactics, really, and it's like, how often is he really going to be the thing that gets focused down, like, or that you want him to attack twice? I mean, I understand.
Well, you can take damage off of him.
Yeah.
You can take shields off.
I'm
of
just
him.
saying,
It's not mind-blowing, but it's good.
It's not like you're protecting or refreshing something that is having a significant impact.
But, I mean, picture this situation, right? You attack with it, whatever. You get to do a tactics, that's fine.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. But, like, I mean, units just leave play. It's not even like you sacrificing a unit. Your units are going to get removed from the board. So the idea that you have a unit that gets to remove damage or gets to remove focus anytime your units are leaving play, potentially good, especially on defense, if you're playing against, like, a rushy Imperial deck and you want to lock down.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, too, it's like, I block with this thing and something else, and it's like, well, you need to kill the something else. There's a lot of interesting interactions there and timing about attacking, removing the focus, attacking.
And there's always something to be said about a 3 health unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So, it's not bad.
They're hard to get rid of.
No, it's
hard
not
to
bad.
get rid of.
But
It's certainly not.
it's not red 5.
Up next, we have Buried Outpost. It's a 0-cost enhancement. It's a Hoth location. 1 resource. Enhance your play area. A force reaction. After this enhancement enters play, sacrifice a unit or place 1 focus token on this enhancement. It's a
I mean,
River
It's
Row.
non-limited.
It's a River Row.
non-limited. And I mean, I have 2 thoughts. One, it's a way to get rid of a character when you want to get rid of it. As
Mhm.
far as your character goes, whether you draw into another one, has damage on it, whatever the reason is.
Chuck Han if you need something.
Chuck Han if you need something. But I feel like this game, the more non-limited resources we're getting and options for playing out faster, is only going to pick up in pace. Like, when you have decks that can consistently just, in whatever method, whatever they're drawing, play stuff faster, there's just a rush archetype that is going to exist on both sides of the game.
Yep.
So,
and to finish out this objective set and the pack is a Battle of Hoth.
good way to finish.
Battle of Hoth. What more can you say? That's all you need.
It's over.
I like through force icons always. Like this card the text doesn't matter on it most of the time for me. It's just like I can win an edge battle with it, which is awesome.
Yep.
It's so important. So overall thoughts, Escape from Hoth. I think this is a solid bolster to pretty much everything that I can think of. Looks like the Rebels actually are going to benefit a lot from these two, potentially, from the Jedi and obviously the Rebel set. Unless you're still on the fence about it. Hunt them down. I think Dengar is interesting and fun.
I think far and away the best objective set is the Jedi objective set.
Yeah.
Like the most game impacting. I think the others are useful and will find their places. Even the Executor objective set will find its place. But the Jedi one seems to fill the biggest need in the game right now.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
So
looks good.
fantastic pack.
Overall, it's a
Fantastic
good pack.
cycle.
I think it's
what
a good
an
way
intro to the game.
Yeah, totally. Escape from Hoth, a really kind of a beautiful little addition here. I'm amped. So thanks guys for watching. This has been our unboxing of Escape from Hoth. If you'd like to grab this pack, you can do that from us. teamcovenant.com/store is where you can find that. And if you want to always have it delivered right to you whenever these things come out, we love to do that for you too. That's our subscriptions, Force Pack subscriptions. And you can check those out too if you're interested. But other than that, just keep watching, keep loving, and keep playing. Thanks.